Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we got to talk about this Biden plan. There's a whole bunch of misinformation, but you know how we do this. There's no misinformation at SSN Nation. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Welcome back to the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page. And I want to thank you for being here. And please share the videos. We're trying to help thousands, if not millions of other people. And please notice the join button over here on the right hand side. That's because you're a member of the channel. How to become a member of the channel. You see icons next to a person's name when they're in the chat room when we do live streams. That means they're a member of the channel. And as a member of the channel, under the community tab, you get 1 or 2 videos per month, and you get a steady stream of messages just for members only under the community tab. And we have our Wednesday Night Live where members only can chat while everybody else can watch. So without further ado, let's talk about this Biden tax plans, because there's a whole bunch of misinformation, and it's really quite simple. They're manipulating the system, having you believe you have to be all scared and feared about some tax plan that does not exist at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And before we get into that part of the equation, I want to show you guys something, because this right here is what cracks me up. So this is super PACs. This is donors to elections. All right. And I want to show you the top 100 donors in a super PAC give 70% of the money, 69.7% of the money for everybody on podcasts. But look at what's next. Portion of money delivered by top 1% of donors. 1% of donors give 95.8% of the money. This is to super PACs, ladies and gentlemen. So if they have all this money to give to super PACs, shouldn't some of this be taxed? Right. So that is the idea, right? Now let's get into, we need to quell some of this misinformation tactics. Hopefully American citizens understand how our government works. And I had to bring this up. To draft legislation is introduced to the full House of Representatives. It has to go to the House first, ladies and gentlemen, the Ways and Means Committee. Then they have to make a vote, and they have to get 218 out of 435 to say, okay, we're going to move this bill to the Senate. The Senate has their, as you can see here, the first stop for the tax bill passed by the House is the Senate Finance Committee. They then tweak the tax bill. Then they have to vote on it also. So, Biden or any other president can talk about tax whatever. But the House and the Senate has to pass the legislation in order for it to happen. And it has to be voted on. All right. Now, that's the first stop in this equation. You do realize those donors, the top 1% or top 10%ers, top 100, they lobby your congressperson. Do you really think they're not going to be trying to bribe these guys and say, hey, man, what are you doing? We don't want people who make over a certain amount to be paying, an extra 20% or an extra 15% in taxes. That's going to be a hard press issue to get passed, right? because there's no majority in the Senate. It's like 50-50. I mean, it's so close that, all it takes is one person to, or a few people to defect on either side of the aisle, and it's either going to pass or not pass. And so you got to keep this stuff in mind. Now, let's get down to the Biden tax plan. Biden to float the historic tax increase on investment gains. Now, let's do it a better way. We'll do capital gains first. This one's a little more easier to read. He proposes capital gains tax of 39.6 to fund education, child care, and reports say. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is only for those Americans earning $1 million or more. 0.5% of the population. Roughly 250,000 people. That's it. Okay? Stop listening to the nonsense. Now, the people who make $1 million, you're able to shield a large portion of your income. So if it's just like when you have an S corp. If you make $100,000 profit, you have an S corp, you can write out that you receive $40,000 in salary. You're going to $40,000 in salary is going to pay your W-2 payroll taxes. All right? And there's another way you can look at it. You can write in your 15.3%, right? Because that's basically the self-employment tax. That's your Medicare and all that, right? But on the other 60,000, you don't have to pay that 15.3%. All right? Are you guys getting it here? So they got the same thing that they're going to do. So if they say they earn 1 million, they're just going to say, okay, no problem. I'm not going to make 1 million. I'm just going to make 950,000. That's it. We'll work it out a different way. There's always a way to do it with our tax code. All right? So that's the first thing. And it's only going to affect 250,000 people, and out of that, half of them will say, you know what, I'll just reduce my income coming in and show 900 grand. So I'll be under the threshold. All right? So that's the first part of the equation. Second part of the equation. For the normal people, for the tax increase, for not capital gains, but for normal taxes to be increased. Anybody making in their household $400,000 or more could possibly have a tax increase. That means if two people each make $200,000 per year, that equals $400,000 for your household. So that now means you're going to have a higher tax. That's not passed yet. That's his proposal. Who knows if that's going to even make it can come to happen, right? And here it is right here. Biden has promised not to raise taxes on households earning less than $400,000. Well, congratulations. 1%, 99% of the population doesn't make $400,000 in their household. So again, this is not going to affect most, damn near everybody. 99 out of 100 people, it will not affect. All right? It's that simple. So there's no reason to panic. Unless you make over $400,000 as a household, you still don't even have to panic, because it's not even going to kick in till you make. It depends on how much you're going to make over $400,000. If it's going to be set up like previous tax plans. So what I mean by that is they could say, okay, up to $400,000, you have to pay 30% in taxes. 400 and up to 600,000, let's say, you might have to pay an additional 10% or something on that 100 grand. So that's what's going to happen. That's generally what happens in America. And yet, keep in mind, none of this is coming. It's all been talk. He's been trying to put it out there to see what type of feedback he'll get back from the senators and congressmen, so then that way he may know if it's going to be passed, if it was voted on, if it's worth the time of day to even try to make this happen. All right? So unfortunately for the top 1%ers, 99% percent of the population is going to be like, okay, it doesn't have nothing to do with me, tax them. That's pretty much what's going to happen. And then the top 1%ers are just going to laugh and go, okay, I just don't make that much anymore. I'll write in whatever my own salary. All right, so that's how simple this is. Now, I'm going to end this. This is going to be a short video because I just, people always talking about how things are going to be dire and things are going to be bad. Well, I, for one, don't think it's bad that you tax the people that make a lot of money. Like, for instance, the guys always complain, right? The guy gets paid $10 million as a salary, like a sports player. Then they say, well, I had to give up $4 million in taxes. Right, because it's your salary. That's the difference. In this case, they're going to get a little bit more tax. Okay, that's just the way it is. So what do you have to do? You should be putting yourself down as an entity instead of as a person who's getting a W-2. Okay? That's what you should be doing. Start your own businesses. That way, if you missed the live stream last night, if you missed a previous video, I actually show you guys the numbers on what the top 1%ers assets are and what the bottom 50% assets are. There's a huge difference, and there's a reason why the top 10%ers, 1%ers don't pay that much tax ultimately. Now, let's go look at something else, and I'll let you go. Because once you understand the inequality in the United States, and the rest of the world is, by the way, along the same pattern, then you start understanding why I've been talking about in 2021, why I've been adamant about getting extra streams of income. Here's the reason. This is from a few years ago, okay? Look at this. Okay, look at this. Income inequality in the United States. Economic policy reports it's gotten worse in every state since 1970s. So for the last 50 years, when we went off of the gold standard in the 70s, then in the early 80s, they started doing tax cuts where rob from the poor to give to the rich. Trickle up theory, not trickle down. Americans in the top 1% of earners make compared to those in the bottom 99% who earn $50,000. Now, this thing right here is an eye-opener. I hope you guys pay attention. I'm going to leave links down below in the description so you can see this. This is by a few states. The average income of the bottom 99% is $67,000 in Connecticut. The top 1% annual income is 2.5. You seeing this, ladies and gentlemen? In New York, 2.2 million is what the top 1%ers annual income is. 49,000 is the average of the bottom 99%. Massachusetts, 99%, 61,700. The top 1%, 1.9. Anybody paying attention to this? Look, 1.9. Wyoming, 1.9 million for the top 1%. Washington, D.C., 1.7 in California, 1.6 in New Jersey, Florida, 1.5. And in Florida, which is what, the fourth most populous state, or fifth, 1.5 million for the top 1%ers, $39,000 for the bottom 99%ers on average income. All right? Illinois, 1.4, middle income, at bottom 99% average, 52. Look at this discrepancy. This is astronomical discrepancy, and we can keep going on and on. So I'll leave a link down below to this article as well, but I just want to give you guys the facts of the matter. This is why you're losing, because the top people who invest, when they're making money while they sleep, while most people, 99% of the people, are out here working a job. And you cannot just wake up tomorrow and go, hey, you know what? It costs more in groceries. And by the way, I had to get $300 worth of groceries that used to cost me $200. So can I get a 20% raise, please? That will never happen. So the only way you get a raise is if you have your extra streams of income coming in. And hopefully you're able to replace your wage, which is the actual outcome you want to do, because then you become financially free from your job, and then you can do whatever you want. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. That's why I've been bringing the last videos, as you can see. How to become a top 10%er. How you can make your money work for you. If stocks and crypto prices go down, then what? No barrier to entry series. All this is for people that are in the bottom 99%, because top 10%ers and top 1%ers are doing this stuff already. So get in the party. Don't let the parade keep passing you by. Things are only going to get worse. Don't go hip hip hooray because they're taxing the rich a little bit more. The rich always figure out a way around it. But ultimately, the 99% down below from the 1%ers are going to be paying the difference. The up for it. They're going to charge more. They own the companies. You're employed by them. They're just going to charge more for their products. What goes around comes around. So again, the government's been printing money. Inflation's coming. It's already here. So in 2021, please concentrate on getting extra streams of income, or start planting seeds so you can in the future make extra money. But sitting here idle going, I'm just going to make my $39,000 a year or $50,000 a year or 60 or 70 and I'm going to be fine, you're not going to be fine. Everything's going to go up next year and this year. So with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.